Hello, everybody. So this is Q&A part 2. Two Pyramid asks, are you a fast or a slow reader? How long would it take you to read a 300-page paperback? I think it would really depend on how interested I was. There are things, if I'm totally riveted, I could tear through it in a relatively short period of time. But I'm not a speed reader. I've never cared for the whole, well, I can read this 500-page book in a half an hour. It's not about reading it fast. It's about reading it well. So I think it would depend for me, but I'm at least a moderate. I can read moderately fast. Okay, Igor / Solomon asks, how gratifying is it to fulfill what you were creatively setting out to accomplish with The Insurrectionist? Regarding themes, personal, psychological demons, modern issues, and whatever other creative ambitions you wish to express during the writing process. It's gratifying to have written and published The Insurrectionist, and I feel like I did a pretty good job with it. If you feel like you have accomplished anything, that is, as the creator. Yeah, I mean, I'm pleased with what I have written, and I believe it is good, and I believe that it should be read. And I hope that I can get more people to read it. But I'm kind of having a hard time right now finding places to publicize it. So if anyone wants to interview me, or if anyone has an idea of somebody, if anyone wants to help me out by writing to somebody who they think might be interested in interviewing me, then please do so. I would be very appreciative. Igor Solomon asks, are you short-sighted or the other way around? You mean, with as far as my vision goes, I have trouble seeing things that are far away. That's long-sighted, right? But I also, at a certain age, I got to a point where I have to take off my glasses to read something that's right in front of my face. So that's just one wonderful part of the aging process. All right. What are your most typical coping mechanisms that enable you to deal with any type of misfortune or emotionally heavy situation? Not coping in the black pill sense. Good, because I hate that terminology, as I'm sure you all know. What do I do to enable me to deal with misfortune? To sort, if I'm having a rough day or if things are going crappy, what do I do? I don't know what to say to that. I like to exercise. That can help. And it's good to talk to people, but I don't have that many people I feel like I can talk to. I'm happy to have the ones that I do have, but I often don't feel like I'm really I sometimes have a lot to say and no one to say it to, and I think that's part of why I do this channel. When I say I have a lot to say, I don't mean I'm so profound. I just mean I just want to express things. Okay. Are you Solomon asks, am I the most annoying subscriber you have? LOL. No, not at all. And that's not a joke. You are definitely not. You're far from the most annoying. Another jokey question, he says, have you ever seen Matthew Pegas in person? No, I have not. I've seen a picture of him wearing does he wear a light blue shirt and black pants and thick armored glasses? No, I don't think he's as nerdy as you're imagining him to be. At least from the picture I've seen of him. Let's see. Right. Have you ever experienced a crisis of faith? Yes. Yes, many times. How many times has your ontological relationship to Catholicism been tested? Emotionally and spiritually. It's been tested a lot. Mostly with people. Mostly, I have to say, my experiences with fellow Catholics have often been very disappointing. And the fact that I'm Catholic, even though there are so many really shitty people who are Catholics, who I have had the unfortunate experience of running across, I think testifies to the truth of the faith, I would say. But yeah, I've struggled, definitely. I make no claims otherwise. All right, I had to switch rooms, but no problem. This room works for me too. Any room will do. Okay. Has your near-death experience made you more appreciative of life? I don't know if I really had a near-death experience. I had a semi-serious operation. Yeah, I haven't had that kind of experience, or I haven't. I think it's good to appreciate the good things in life, but I haven't really had that sort of experience personally. Okay, and Igor / Solomon asks, what's sexier in your opinion? Epicthantic features from the Far East. Epicthantic features from the Far East? Does that mean what does epicthantic mean? Does that mean like the Japanese, the Chinese, if you're talking about the Far East, or shapely silhouettes from Africa? Don't pretend you were never young. I'm not. I mean, I've been young and I've been old and I've been horny as both an old and as a young man. I don't think I can answer that question because I'm not sure what I'm not sure what my choices are. Shapely silhouettes sounds good. Epicthantic features, also, I don't know what that means, so sorry. How do you deal with writer's block? You just don't write, I guess. I don't know. I've never had writer's block, like in the sense of, because there've been so few occasions where I have had the task of having to write for a deadline. I think that's more where writer's block kicks in, where you have to get something finished and nothing is coming out, and you feel frantic. It's never really been the case for me. So I'm not really a big time. Don't have much to say about the writer's block issue. I mean, I've had it. I've had mild forms of it. Okay. Do you think I matter in this life? Yes. I know that's a joke, but yes, I do. All right. Okay, Paul asks if you could live in a movie or TV show, what would it be and why? I would say, gosh, it's hard not to say original trilogy Star Wars. Like, what could beat that? What could beat that for me? I mean, I have to recall the films of my youth. Maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think I was very into movies and television. Very much shaped my imagination to the point where I would imagine myself going on adventures, but they would be adventures on, in a movie or on a television show. So it would be like they would actually be happening, but they would also be happening in the form of a movie or a television show. That's really strange. I don't know if anybody out there understands what I'm saying when I say that. Paul says, I would choose Silver Spoons because I like Aaron Gray. Aaron Gray, if I'm going to go with it, Aaron Gray would be in Buck Rogers. But I think that the world of Buck Rogers plus Aaron Gray would have more charms to offer than the world of Silver Spoons. Because the world of Silver Spoons wouldn't have very much to offer besides Aaron Gray. You'd have to deal with Ricky Schroeder, which would be a pain in the ass. And his dad was also kind of annoying, as I'm remembering. Justin, why do you no longer write for The Last Ditch? I don't... Well, I got to a point where I was... where most of my writing, I became a regular writer for then, the AlternativeWrite.com, Alternative Write Part 1, and I was very much more involved in that scene, and I was doing stuff with other writers of, with Spencer and Colin Liddell, and, it felt like I was part of that community there, and, I just... I had to devote my energy to a particular place. I hated having to stop writing for The Last Ditch because I enjoyed. I'm very thankful for Tom Strachan for giving me my first big break as a writer / blogger. And eventually I just came to write articles and newsy kinds of articles about what's happening now, and I just devoted. I came to see writing as much more. I wanted to devote my writing energy to writing books, to writing stuff that's built to last, as opposed to just writing for the here and now. It was just writing for, what's in the news now. Now, if I'd ever been paid, there were rare occasions where I got paid, but if I were, in the position that's like Ann Sturzinger was in with Talkie Mag, where she was getting paid to edit and to write for Talkie Mag, then I would have, not that I write with a mercenary or a mercantile mentality, but if I were in a situation like that, I imagine I would, feel more compelled to write. So it was nothing personal about The Last Ditch at all. It was just I get swept along with events. Okay. Bonto Max asks, what literary genre do you hate? The only thing I can think of is literary criticism. And I don't think I really hate literary criticism so much as I hate, modern day literary deconstructionist, post-structuralist, that kind of stuff. Other than that, though, there's no genres that I would say that I hate. I'm pretty cool with all the genres. I'm not necessarily a fan, but I think that they all can be good. Good stuff can come from all of them that I can think of. All right, Bonto Max, interesting question. Which actor, well, it's interesting to me anyway, which actor would you cast as the protagonist of The Insurrectionist? You know what? In the unlikely event that The Insurrectionist gets made into a movie, I would really like for that character to be somebody that nobody has seen before. Maybe that's kind of a cop-out answer, but the kind of movies I've enjoyed have been ones where it's like, whoa, I've never, it's not like it's not cool to see movie stars in things, and sometimes movie stars can do a really good job in things, but I remember seeing Whit Stillman's Metropolitan when in like 1990. A cast of total unknowns. Since then, other like Chris Eigeman has been in a few things, and one of the other guys that was in that were in a few things, but nobody. I didn't recognize anybody, and it was great. It was fantastic. It was like, wow. And other movies have had that similar effect on me. Slacker, Richard Linklater's Slacker. Nobody was. There were no stars in that at all. I'd like for the actor who plays Alexander to be somebody that nobody has seen before. I'd like for everybody in that movie to be, in the movie version of The Insurrectionist, to be somebody that nobody has seen before. I think that would make a more authentic cinematic experience. Plus, it would be easier on the budget because if The Insurrectionist or any of my books ever gets made into a movie, I can't see it being slated, a very large budget. All right. Depends on how well you can do the Joker dance. Muscle Tussle asks, what are your favorite movies? Okay, off the top of my head, I would say Taxi Driver, King of Comedy. I mentioned Metropolitan earlier. Apocalypse Now. I would say Boogie Nights would be up there. And I think I would include the entire Whit Stillman trilogy, Metropolitan, Last Days of Disco, Barcelona. As I mentioned before, Richard Linklater's Slacker. Great movie. A lot of things from the Scorsese canon would be right up there. Mean Streets, I already mentioned. Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Raging Bull might also be up there. I'd have to say Tarantino's Pulp Fiction would also be up there. Oh, Jim Jarmusch's Stranger Than Paradise. Not a movie that will be to everybody's tastes. It's rather slow moving. It was maybe the first mumblecore movie, or it anticipated the mumblecore films of the early aughts. But I really love it. Great movie. And I've got to say, for sentimental reasons, Star Wars, the original trilogy, left an indelible mark on my childhood memory. I would say the same for Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know Spielberg is a very dodgy sort of case, sort of person, but I'm just talking about the film itself. It was it was another one that really inspired my imagination. And I just know I'm probably leaving some out. But my favorite movie of the last 10 years, as you all know, is Joker. I thought Joker was so good. It was so fucking good. And I saw it more times than... I saw it, I was so obsessed with it that I probably saw it maybe 10 or 12 times in the theater. Oh man, I love that movie. Now, if I were a real legit film buff, I would have some older films to talk about, or some Orson Welles or some Hitchcock or something like that. But I'm not really that legit. I'm more remembering movies that were around in my lifetime. But that doesn't mean that's no slight on any of the others that were before my lifetime. Those are the ones that made the biggest impact on me. Okay, I'll stop there. This will be part 2. Thanks for watching. Part 3 is coming.